Another day and another episode. Welcome back to the Ranting Redhead. I'm your host, Aiden, and today I'm going to talk to you about why public displays of affection is wrong, stupid, disgusting, nauseating, sickening, and gross. I think this is something that every single person on the planet can get behind, but there's some people that are couples that might not understand this. And I'm going to educate you today. Now, look. I am coming at this point of view from a man who has lived 20 years and has been single for 20 years. So, take my opinion for just what it is. Fact. So, here's why public displays of affection, PDA, as the kids call it, is awful and gross. You ever go to the supermarket or you go to the mall, if those still exist, and you just turn the corner and all of a sudden you see some people making out right at the bread aisle? Doesn't that make you just want to lay off bread? That makes you kind of want to just walk away. You don't want to be around them. And it's disgusting. Like, who makes out in public? Like, I'd be embarrassed personally. I don't get it. Like, can you not wait? Can you not wait until you guys are alone? Yes, maybe there's nobody in the aisle currently, but it's a crowded store. There will be people turning the corner within a few seconds, I guarantee it. And I don't get, like, what causes it. Like, is there a thing that just all of a sudden, like, okay, you turn the corner, you're with your girl, and you go to get a new toothbrush, and all of a sudden you look at the new brand of toothpaste that's in your favorite flavor, mint, and that just turns you right on, and you have to go right then and there. Like, I don't get it. Honestly, if you like to do this in public, tell me why, because I genuinely don't get it. And I'm looking to educate myself, but as of now, you're gonna be educated by me. And think about this. If you're making out in public, you don't know the kind of message that sends to other people. Like, picture a scenario in your head, if you will. You're a single guy or gal who is really depressed, just hates life, is sick of it. You go to your favorite store to get your mind off things. You just want to shop until you can forget your troubles, let's say. Then you turn the corner, and all of a sudden there's people making out right in front of you, and you realize in your head, yep, I will never have that. So you turn around, you go home, and you get all depressed, and who knows, maybe you kill yourself. I don't know. But think about this. That's a bad message you're sending to people, and if you do that, you should be fined. It's like we'll treat them like parking tickets. If you are caught displaying any kind of affection in public, you will be fined. And you have to pay your fines to the people that caught you. How about that? Let's do it that way. Make my life even better. How about this? How about this, if you will? You catch somebody, instead of fines, because maybe I'm going a little overboard here. Instead of fines, how about we treat them like cats? Or if you see somebody making out in public, you get out the spray bottle. Nope. And you just spray them a little bit. Like, could you imagine that? Just you see somebody making out. Oh, nope. And you pull it out. You pull out your spray bottle. Not on my time, bitch. No, So the moral of this story is just don't. It's disgusting. I actually have a funny story about two friends of mine who were a couple at the time, and they were really going at it. So, okay. We're walking around for hours and hours. They decided, like, hey, can we sit down for a minute? We're getting a little tired. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not bragging, but I could have walked a little more. And I knew exactly what they were going to do. They start making out for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, how are you going this long? And meanwhile, I'm sitting there. I think I was playing like speed chess on my phone, just waiting for them to be done. And then simultaneously, they get up. Okay, let's go. Acting like nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm just sitting there like, are we going now? Can we get going? And no. But then another hour passes. they sit down again. And this time this is like 15 to 20 minutes, at least, because once it hit like the 15-minute mark, I just was like, fuck this. I got up and left. This is a true story. I got up and left. I just walked away. I kept going about my day. I was like, this is that. If you have company, you don't do that. Like, I've learned this. I will never be a third wheel again. It fucking sucks. But I agreed to do it. I was a third wheel a couple times. And most times I did it, it ended up shitty. But what was funny is the next day I heard from these people. It was like, hey, why were you being so rude to them? They said you just up and abandoned them. I'm like, bullshit. Like, how would you react if you sit down and and these people that you were walking around with all day just start making out all of a sudden? Was I wrong to get up and leave? Like, I don't think I was doing anything bad. But it was funny. They didn't last long after that, though. I'm not saying I was responsible for their breakup. I could have been. I should have been. They were a weird couple, but she was kind of hot. And if you're listening, you know who you are. I'm just kidding. She's maybe a 7 at best. Call me. But I was a third wheel a couple times, and that was probably one of the most disastrous ones. But there was one couple I hung out with. They were all right, but even then, they're like, I don't know. Like they started going at it in public a couple times, and I didn't hang out with them for a couple weeks. They learned to be they were better, and then I hung out with them. But it was funny. Side tangent. There was one time we hung out. This was actually one of the last times I hung out with them. I remember the day exactly. It was the day before Memorial Day. And I was having a great day. Watched a great movie. I was so happy. And it was one of those days where just rare. You're just happy to be alive, I guess. And I had plans with them because I had that whole weekend off. And they said, hey, let's do an escape room. I'm like, okay, I've never done that. Let's do it. Our appointment was at 8:00. So I arrive at their house around like 7:15 because they're not too far. So I just travel with them. There's no point in taking 2 cars. And so what happened was we go, but as soon as we go, it's like, hey, we got to stop off at Walmart. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's make it quick because we don't have too much time. And of course, they finally get around the building around 8:00. So they like just drop me off while they go to look for a parking spot. And there's this really hot girl standing there. She was working there. I think she was waiting for us. So I tell her, I'm like, yeah, just give it a minute. They're looking for a parking spot. And I don't remember what I was talking about because she was really hot. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, well, there's no way she likes me. So I don't give a shit what I say. I'll just keep talking. There was no point in just standing there. Right. And I am very, very oblivious when women are hitting on me. I mean, I don't want to say I'm stupid. I'm partial. I probably am, but I won't say it. And I'm not used to it happening because it probably only happens like once a year. So anyway, she was hitting on me. I found out later because we're in the escape room for about an hour. And the whole time she's kind of like checking in, and she was being in retrospect, she was definitely she was being very friendly with me. But as soon as we were the last people in, this is about 9:00. Yeah, about 9:00 they closed. We were the last group in. And as soon as they shut the door, as soon as we left, both my friends go, what the fuck is the matter with you? And I said, what? They're like, why didn't you get her number or anything? I'm like, why would I get her number? Was she hitting on me? I was like, I didn't think so. In retrospect, they were 100% right. But I argue that if you're a friend, you don't wait until you leave. You tell me that then and there. That's what a true friend does. That's why I don't have any friends. Nobody wants to be a true friend. They just want to be phony. But that's a whole other side tangent I'll get into another day. And it was funny, too, because they were expecting me to, they said, why don't you go get her number? I'm like, they locked up. What was I supposed to do? And we only hung out one other time. They did not talk to me since. It's kind of funny, but anyway, they weren't interested. So being a third wheel is not always the best choice. It always ends up in disaster. So don't be a third wheel and don't display any kind of affection in public. Otherwise, the true winners that are listening to this show, they'll get out the cat spray and they'll start spraying you. But anyway, that's my hope. That's my wish. That's how I know people are listening to the show. If I go out in public and I see a couple making out and all of a sudden somebody comes up and sprays them with a bottle, that would just warm my heart. Can somebody do that for me, please? Just, I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you get arrested. Just please do it. I don't care. And send it to me. It would just make my stupid, bloated, shallow heart just warm up for a second. But anyway, I think that's how I'm going to end the show. But I do have one thing to say, something I was thinking about. I was thinking about what would be kind of like a good bit to do on my show. And I thought of something. But it requires you guys to help me. If I can get an episode up to 500 views, this is on YouTube and Spotify. If I can get an episode up to 500 views, I will get a psychology student, or if I can get a professional, fuck it, it'd be even better, to give me a full therapy session right here on my show. I think if you know me, you'll definitely want to hear it. If you're just listening, I think it'd be interesting too. I'll take it 100% seriously, but I think it'd be kind of interesting to hear me go in depth about my life and anything that's troubling me. But that's up to you guys. I need 500 views. So if you want to see it happen, spread the word, and I'll do my best to get somebody on here to give me a full therapy session. I'll try to do about 30 to 45 minutes for a therapy session, if that's something you guys are interested in. If so, let me know. But that's how I'm going to end the show today. Spread the word. See you later.